I've shared before, but I want to share it from a different perspective because I know that many people talk about spending time as CEO, but what exactly does that really mean? And are we doing what we really need to do in order to drive our business results forward, right? So that is the main thing, right? So we're spending this time not just so that we could say, oh, I'm a CEO, but we're spending this time as CEO in order to move our business forward and to improve our business outcomes. So that is one of the main things. I can't get on Facebook, but I am on YouTube and Instagram. So that's what we're doing today. I didn't want to, put this off because I said I was going to do it. So the first thing when we're talking about um, CEO, being a CEO and setting aside time for CEO and what we should be doing as CEO, before we even get to all of that, we need to first work on our mindset. So that's one of the things that I've noticed in working with small business owners. A lot of times we don't consider ourselves a CEO, but a lot of times we don't consider our business a business. And I think that that is the very first step, right? So before we dive into all of the details of today's live, I just want to introduce myself. I am Tanya Harrison, CEO and founder of Signal Partners. I also have a membership, Savvy Operations Society, where I provide resources for CEOs just like you so that you can go in and learn how to optimize your operations and also get training on different tools and things like that. So again, today's topic, we're going to be talking about how do you take your CEO time and use it in order to improve your business and drive business results. So starting from the beginning, the very first thing is recognizing your business as an actual business. I know, sometimes we say, oh, my little business or my side hustle and things like that. But you have to recognize your business as a business. And I run into this with a lot of business owners where they feel like their business isn't a business, but you need to recognize it as a business first. And then you need to start treating it as a business. It doesn't matter if you are part-time in your business, a fourth of the time, full-time, it doesn't matter. If you have a business, you have a business and you need to start treating it that way. And this comes out when I talk to business owners about implementing processes or implementing systems and things like that. And they think that that's for big businesses. But the truth of the matter is, us as small business owners, or if you're a solopreneur, you need to have these things in place more than anybody else, right? Because our resources are extremely limited. And because of that, we need to make sure that we're being as efficient as possible. So we need to make sure that we have these things in place. So that's number one. Before we even dive in and talk about CEO time and what you need to do and things like that, the very first thing is recognizing your business as a business. Once you recognize your business as a business, then you want to recognize yourself as the business owner and as the CEO of your business, right? So you may feel that you're not there yet because you're not doing the things that a CEO would do, or you don't know what a CEO should do, and all of those things like that. But you want to start to embody that before you get to that place, right? So right from the beginning, when I first started my business in 2016, I started as part-time, right? But it was still my business. I was part-time. I was working it part-time, but it was my business and I was the business owner. I was the CEO of that business. And throughout my journey, even when I started my business part-time, then I started working full-time in my business. Then I went back to corporate for like a year. Now I'm back full-time. Throughout that entire journey, my business has been a business and I have been the business owner and the CEO of that business. So once you get past that and you start to say, yes, this is what I have, this is who I am, now we can dive into the meat of what it is that you need to be doing to drive those business results forward, right? And the main thing is understanding the difference between working in your business and on your business. And I know a lot of you have probably heard about the E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. He talks a lot about this. So, just understanding if I am posting social media content, that is working in my business, right? So when I am performing those actual tasks, I'm working in my business. When I'm working on my business, that's when I'm more in that strategic mode where I'm looking for how do I drive my business forward? I'm looking at results. I'm thinking about what the vision is and how we can get there, what our mission is, and how we're going to get there. I'm putting in place that strategy. So for those of you that may have worked in a business before, like especially in corporate America, you think about how your CEO functions, right? So I think about for me, and even though I wasn't a CEO, I was in a leadership role, right? I would be given information. So my team would put together reports and things like that. I would share reports, with higher levels, and then they would take that and assess it, and we discuss what business decisions need to be made. You know what I mean? How do we improve outcomes? How do we meet our objectives? Right? So we weren't the ones that were actually putting together the data, but we were the ones that were reviewing it and making those decisions. So that's like the role of a CEO. And I feel like we get so attached to the task that we don't separate it. And that's one of the things that you definitely have to do. So understanding what's working on your business versus what is working in your business. That is the place to start. And then the other thing is that um, once you start to develop that mindset where I am going to start to separate things, you want to make sure that you list out what those tasks are. So I put a post up today, I think it was, and basically it shares some examples of what an administrative task would be versus what an actual CEO task would be. We get so attached to tasks that we don't want to separate it, and you gotta separate it because think about it this way: you're not gonna be always doing everything in your business. If you're a solopreneur right now today, the goal isn't to always be a solopreneur, right? The goal is to, at some point, have other people within your business that you employ. That's going to help you move your business forward. So don't take it as, oh, all of these are CEO tasks, because they're not all CEO tasks. So start right now today with separating those things. And you can make a list of all of the things that you do and separate what's CEO task versus what's not a CEO task. Don't get attached to all of those things because everything it is not a CEO task, right? So think about it when we're talking about metrics. Hi, ladies. When we're talking about metrics, right? You could have your administrative assistant input the data and create the dashboard. You, as the CEO, you're going to review that information and you're going to make decisions about how to move your business forward, right? If you are a solopreneur, that's fine. You entering the data and then reviewing it, that's fine. What I recommend is not doing it at the same time. When you are in CEO mode, stay in CEO mode, right? So one session you can take and you can input all of your numbers and all of your information. And then when you have your designated CEO time, that's where you're going to review the numbers and you're going to review those outcomes and you're going to put together a strategic plan, right? You're going to evaluate where you are and how do you get to where it is that you want to go. So don't get attached to the actual task. So number one, the first thing I would say is make a list of all of the things that you do and separate what's a CEO task versus what's not a CEO task, right? Because at some point, you're going to want to outsource or delegate some of these things out. Okay. So if you're attached to it, you're going to automatically assume that, oh no, that's the CEO task, me inputting data into a spreadsheet when it's really not. Right. So right now, today, make your list and put CEO versus non-CEO. And you can even put what it is, right? You can put admin task, social media manager, whatever it is. And then that way, when you're ready to outsource, you know all of the different um, tasks that fit within this category. Okay. So that's something that you want to do. The second thing that you want to do is you want to set aside designated time to function as a CEO, right? Again, this is not you doing administrative tasks or social media tasks or, things like that. This is specifically for you to work on your business. And it doesn't have to be a day. I know we talk a lot about CEO day, but it doesn't have to be a day. In the beginning, you may not be able to allocate a full day, right? It may end up being 90 minutes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you know what I mean, from 11 to 12:30. That's fine. That's fine. Designate your time that you're going to spend as CEO. Make it the same time every week so it happens automatically. And then the next thing is that outline what it is that you're going to do during that time, specifically during your CEO time. What is it that I'm going to do? What reports am I going to review, right? Am I going to look at my revenue? Am I going to look at my metrics? What specifically are you going to do during that time that falls with under the realm of being a CEO? And then what'll begin to happen is that it'll become a habit, right? So every Tuesday and Thursday from 11 to 12:30, here's what I'm doing, right? I automatically know it's on my schedule. Nobody can book time that'll block anything out because this time is dedicated to me working on my business. And once you start to focus on those tasks on consistently on a regular basis, once you start to focus on those tasks, you're going to start to see your business results improve because you know why? You're focusing on it. I forget who says it, but what you focus on is what grows, right? So you start to focus on things. You're looking at your revenue on a weekly basis. You're looking at your leads on a regular basis. You're looking at, you know what I mean, whatever designated metrics you have assigned for your business. You're looking at them on a regular basis and you're assessing them. So you quickly and easily see when things go astray, right? And if out of your time, if out of your session, when you're reviewing, your numbers, if you come up with a plan that you need to implement at that moment, you need to go as a part of that time, you need to go and put it on your calendar so that you make sure you execute. So that's the other part, right? You got to be able to execute. Um, whatever it is that you are, whatever it is that come out of your session, you want to make sure that you are executing, right? So those are the things that I really wanted to share. First, it starts with the mindset, putting yourself in the mindset in the position that you are a CEO and you own a business, regardless of the size, regardless of how many hours, regardless of how many other jobs you have, you're the CEO of your business. That's number one. Then the other thing is detaching yourself away from certain tasks, right? So that when you get to the point where you are ready to outsource or delegate it, it becomes extremely easy because you're not attached to that specific task. So outlining what is the task that you as a CEO should be doing. And we talked about a couple of different ones that you definitely want to make sure that's included as a part of your CEO time. And then carving out time every single week that you're going to allocate to CEO time. And even if you start with 90 minutes a week, start, right? That's the biggest thing. And we're going to be diving deep into this in my operations boot camp that's happening December 13th through December 17th. So if you haven't had an opportunity to register, you want to go ahead and register. If you register today, we're going to give you, and I forgot my mug, you'll get a free CEO mug that we're going to ship out to you so you can be sipping on your CEO mug as you are learning new methods and strategy to drive your business forward. Doing this boot camp is going to be an entire week. We'll meet 3 days where you'll get training, and we're going to dive into your processes and workflows and CEO time. And then we're also going to be talking about metrics, the metrics that you need to use within your business to drive your business forward. And your metrics are going to be specific to you, right? No two businesses are going to be exactly the same. And then the last 2 days is going to be implementation. So I'll be available during office hours where you can come and you can ask questions specific to your metrics, your processes, your workflows, whatever it is. During that time, you can ask questions and I'll be there to answer your questions, because ultimately it's all about implementing everything that you learn. So it's going Monday through Friday, an entire week. It is a boot camp because we're going to hit it really hard. So click the link in the bio if you have not had a chance to join. So you can join me there. And if you have any questions at all, you can always reach out to me or DM me. I am sorry for not being able to get on Facebook, but I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any questions at all, be sure to let me know. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for those of you that have joined me. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you as well. I appreciate you. Bye.